we know better. Hi guys, a lot has changed.
We
Again.
instantly sounded depressed in that we know better.
Yeah.
We know better now. We got queerbaited.
Yes, and this is actually a very good demonstration of the other meaning of we know better. It's not just we know better than you, which I'd still argue is still true, but we know better than to trust two white men now.
Yeah.
So.
But like, what pure gay hearts and souls we have to believe that it could be true.
Of course. And guess what?
And I'm mad at people who say that, like, obviously it wasn't gonna happen, especially gay people who are telling me it's obviously not gonna happen, because, like, I don't fucking care if it's true. Like, fuck you. Like, why can't? Why can't? Why not? Right. And obviously I know the answers. I know what we live in, Trump's America, etc., etc., etc. And I get that some people are jaded because of that. But I'm just never going to stop wanting and never going to stop hoping, especially when you get so close as something like Byler.
We have to have queer whimsy in our heart, because if not, then they will just, if we give up and we're just genuine, like, well, we'll never get the representation and we'll never have some, like, that's what it's giving to me. It's like, we'll never have this type of, you know, representation of internalized homophobia, like this situation, then they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, they don't give a fuck, so we're not gonna make it. If we need to be investing in these ships and pressuring them to happen and calling them out when we see them, because one day people will listen to us and then we will get better representation. Like, that's how we do it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's not gonna stop me from having the whimsy, you know. Not necessarily my first time being queer-baited, one of the hardest for me personally, like, where it hit, but it won't be the last, I'm sure. Right, it won't be the last, and it's not going to stop me from shipping two people that I see look like they would be a happy gay couple and not shipping them, like.
And I'll say, even after the, like, rejection of, like, we're going to be best friends or whatever, they just kept even acting gayer after that, and I was like, all right. I feel like the actors were just like, and you know what, we're going to write our own narrative here.
Yes,
because they were walking through the fucking mind flayer, like, bumping shoulders. I was like, why did you guys keep this in? Like, they're just acting gay. Like,
yeah, that
someone
whole
needs to stop Finn
was
Wolfhard.
Like just a trying to, like, really block out everything that they've laid the groundwork for, to be like, no, like, this has never been a thing, and we are so malevolent, but in your actions and the way you're setting up the scene, like, you're not demonstrating that.
Right.
But whatever.
And honestly, the Byler aside, the ending was just bad and boring in my opinion. But I will say my favorite, and the Duffers are just doubling down and making it 20 times worse, because they keep clarifying things or saying things happened off screen or whatever, and it's just making the story worse. But I have to say, by far my favorite is that they, for some reason, said that, like, Mike imagined him going into Elle's mind space right before she kills herself, which is another plot point we need to talk about, which is just, like, the concept of this white boy imagining him talking to 11 and 11 saying to him, like, you're the only one who understands me, and then saying I love you. In his mind space, he doesn't say it back, because he doesn't. Well, also, like, what? And then he proceeds to create his own edit of them as 11-year-olds to Purple Rain. Like, you had time to do all that in your head while you're watching her kill yourself? Like, God, men are actually evil. Like, imagine you are sacrificing yourself and you think the man you're dating is thinking about, like, he is thinking about how he's gonna miss you, but you're, like, looking at him and you guys are both, like, having a moment. Little do you know, in his mind, he's creating a fucking Purple Rain edit of you when you're 11.
With his... Like,
you cannot trust
his
men.
His best friend in the background of half of the things.
Like, you literally cannot trust a man. Like, I can't. If I was doing something like that, like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally actively killing myself in front of you, and you're imagining us to Purple Rain? Like, I would, oh my god, so funny. Like, Mike Wheeler needs to die. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, and then now he's doomed to live his miserable life, and in 40 years, 40 years, he will hear "Good Luck, Babe" on the radio and blow his brains out.
Yeah, that's my favorite AO3 fic out there right now.
Yeah, because... Yes. And if you go to Good Luck Babe lyric video and look at the comments, it's all about Mike Wheeler. So I think that's so really touching for the internet, because we can band together on that, because that is his song now. I will not be able to think about that song or listen to it without thinking of Mike Wheeler. So,
But
yeah, I guess like everyone's gonna say we're Byler biased, obviously, and that's why we didn't like it. But genuinely aside, it was bad. So many things just not covered and left just not gone back to. It's just like, where did we go wrong here?
The best part, in my opinion, that for me, I kind of got excited for the final fight. I was like, oh, it's gonna be serious when Vecna curses Hopper and he shoots
agree.
11 point blank.
That's when I genuinely, the only time I had actual emotion.
I knew it wasn't real, but at the same time, that was so scary. Yeah. It's like, this is what I expect fighting Vecna at the end of the day is gonna be like he's going to do this to everyone, and everyone has to realize it's not real and fight through it. Like, that's what I was like, oh, that's so good.
Right.
Because that's what I'm like, it's just the ending was so boring, because to me,
he didn't even use his most powerful power, which is his mind stuff. Yeah, that's crazy.
Season 4 to me was so good because it was fucking scary. It was the first, I think season 3 a lot of people like because it's the most Stranger Things like season, but I didn't love it because I think it was the farthest from like what is scary about Stranger Things and the Upside Down is the unknown. Mm-hmm. And with season 3, I think they had to make the Mind Flayer very scary and very gory to make up for the fact that we already know that it's the Mind Flayer and we already understand how that works. Yeah. And then season 4 kind of takes a step back and says, like, they figure out Vecna is Vecna fast because obviously it relates to the D&D in their life, which is fine. Honestly, I appreciate that after so many fucking seasons of them having no idea at all that it could be related to D&D. When Dustin immediately, he's like, oh my god, it's Vecna. I'm like, thank you. Like, thank you. You're gonna piss me off if you didn't get it that fast. But like, the whole idea is we don't have no idea who Vecna is. What does he want? How can he do this? He literally is like ripping people's limbs and gouging their eyes, and we have no idea how that's even possible. And it's terrifying. And then it fucking ends with him doing it to Max successfully, and that's the end, and we're just like, fuck. And then you get into season 5, and I'm expecting it to be, I know that we know a bit more about Vecna at this point in season 5, and end of season 4 was revealing that 11 had direct relation, and and humanizes him in a way, but it's like, we didn't know what he wanted. We knew he wanted to connect the town for what? Well, I don't know. Yeah. I just feel like there was such a scary tone to season 4 that just like is completely abandoned in season 5. Right. And so there doesn't feel like there's any stakes, because in season 4, less than a season ago, we had one of the main characters suspended from the ceiling, getting her limbs torn apart successfully. Right. You know what I mean? And it's like, we're getting to season 5 and you're just like walking to this desert planet and just like throwing things at the Mind Flayer. Yeah. And you're just throwing each other around with your mind powers, but yeah, you don't use anything that you've shown that he can do in season 4, which is what made season 4 so scary and made him so scary, and that you even set up for, because the whole thing was Will has to come out, because if he doesn't come out, then he's gonna try and use his gayness against him. Never even mentioned, never even comes up. Like, you could have at least had something that was like it had something like, I'm gonna out you, and he's like, bitch, I already did it. Like it sets up a final fight of, we know that Vecna is going to be attacking people in their minds, and it just like doesn't happen. And then it doesn't happen. Also, spoiler for Stranger Things finale. Oh yeah. We didn't say it, but whatever. I guess feel like it would be known. I don't know. If you're popping on this and you think that we wouldn't be talking about Stranger Things finale, like, that's kind of cray after last episode. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, sorry if. Hopefully you skip past that part. And then the cherry on top of the cake is the 11 just fucking kills herself. Right. And it's just like, what kind of message is that? Like, the only 2 people that die from the main cast in the series are the 2 girls that were tortured and abused their whole lives. And the only reason they die is they come to the conclusion that, oh, they're just going to keep torturing and killing children, including us, unless we kill ourselves. It's like, bruh. Mm-hmm. That cannot be the answer to the cycle of childhood abuse, I fear. And let's make this clear, because it's not us having a lack of understanding of what the TV show was setting up. We understand that was the option, the only option they were really presenting us, because, oh, well, if she doesn't, then, then more children will get abused, or, if she's alive and they're always hunting her, then her friends and family are going to be hunted and also possibly put in danger. We understand that that's what they set up. We're saying that's the problem. They set up a world. They wrote the TV show to have it so that the only options you give these 2 traumatized little girls are that they kill themselves or go live a life of complete loneliness. Yeah.
So it's
And
like
I would argue that I know the whole point was the show was trying to leave it ambiguous whether she got out or not.
yeah.
But to me, there were so many plot holes on the ability to get out that
Totally.
I think it's Mike Cope. Like,
Yeah,
Mike's
agreed.
coping and
Agreed.
she's
Like it
fucking
doesn't make
dead.
any sense with Callie.
How would Callie have known when to cast the thing? And also, she's right at the scene of the bomb. As soon as the bomb would go off, 11 wouldn't dramatically die in that way, the way we watch her die.
Right.
The what's it called? Illusion would fail immediately because Callie would get blown the fuck up.
Right, exactly. So it's
A lot of
it definitely more like a.
I guess
but they all believe.
Yeah,
so.
right. Do details even matter though? I mean,
Yeah, but anyways, it's
just horrible messaging,
cheap.
and you didn't have to write it that way. And
Yeah.
why take away her powers just to torture her to get them back, and then just to kill her?
And you knew that you didn't have to write it that way because you specifically set up the Hopper scene where he says, you do deserve better, like telling her that there's can be more for her in this world beyond what she has experienced already in her life, which I think is a great message, and that we will figure it out. We will figure it out together with the power of love, which was allegedly supposed to be what this whole show was about. With the power of love, and like we will figure it out. And she's like, well, I do like the arc of like at least she's like, well, yeah, I get to make my own choice, but the fact that you made her choice killing herself in sacrifice of her friends is just of the future is just stupid. It's played out. It happens all the time because women, of course, always have to sacrifice themselves in the name of others. Because what are we if not a caring vessel for other people, and we always putting others before ourselves. Just like it's played out corny like boo. It's not good. It's not a good story. If you think that like it's not a good story to tell.
And it's just like, bruh, maybe it would be different if other people had died in the
True.
final battle, like, to try to get to the point. Nobody fucking dies. So it's just her. And also, you didn't have to write the military into season 5.
Totally.
You wrote that. That's my complaint. Because a lot, like, people have been telling me, like, that's the only thing that made sense for 11. And I know you already talked about, like, why that's bullshit. But it's also, like, they didn't have to bring back the U.S. military, their end game being, I want to experiment more and I want to create more 11s. Like, you didn't have to bring back the military, and 2, that didn't have to be their objective, but you did.
Yeah.
And that's why it plays out in that way. Like, you didn't, like, you could have chosen in season 4, the B antagonist is some fucking white guy named Jason. Like, you could do whatever you want, clearly.
And if you really wanted her to die, you didn't have to make it be the option of killing herself. You could have had her be fatally wounded when she's fighting Vecna, and it be more of a story of like, it's still tragic. You still get that piece of it.
She's ending what she
she's
started,
at least, like,
and she's doing
she's
it.
ending what she started. She is still saving her friends. Maybe she's like kind of like Callie. Like, this is how my story was always supposed to end. Like, but they specifically wrote it that she didn't die. She was successful in her fight. After all that, she still decides like the only answer for me is to kill myself in the world that they set up. The Duffers set up for her. So it's like, yeah, it's not an interesting story to tell.
No, and it's like the only thing they focus on in those last moments is her and Mike and Malevolent and everything, which pissed me off too, because there's so many other people that had such deep impact. Like, she was Joyce's kid for a year.
Yeah.
She was Will's sibling for over a year. Same with fucking Jonathan. Like,
yes,
they literally were siblings. They they watched her get bullied. Like, they lived with her. Will and 11 surely hung out every single day of their lives because they were both pretty outcasted at this new school.
Yeah.
Like, what? And Max being the only first female to teach her, like, you can have a choice in your life. You don't just have to fucking sit around and make out with fucking Mike. Like, you can go out shopping. You can want things. You can choose things for yourself. Right. Like,
you reduced her whole, probably, like, I would say the best years of her life when she was finally out of, even though she was going through a lot, but she finally had community. You reduced that to her being Mike's girlfriend. That's it. You didn't show any of the other beautiful scenes that she had with anyone else in the show. It was just a Malevolent edit. Malevolent edit, and then she's dead. Which, again, Mike made up in his head. But it's like, also, then if he does that, all he can think about is the moments that he had together. Like, again, it's just, at the end of the day, you wrote a shitty person. Mike is a shitty person. He's a shitty guy. Yeah. He's a shitty boyfriend. He's a shitty friend. And it's also just like, of course, it's just a man. Like, genuinely, I think that the Duffers wrote their own fan fiction on their personal lives, because that's what it sounds like when they were explaining about how Byler and the unrequited crush thing, like, oh, well, none of my crushes were, you know, reciprocated. And then they're like, well, this show has always been to us like combining our love for fantasy with what we wanted to see or hear, whatever they said about growing up. So they just wrote all this about basically, I think, a self-insert to themselves, that they had this life and they were trying to create themselves as characters and how they would like to see it. But then it was just a reflection of them being shitty men. And you wrote that, Mike. Why would you write that character like that? Unless you thought that that was a representation of you and you're maybe trying to get people to see that, but you're still the main character. You're still the main guy. You're still the party leader. But you wrote a shitty man. You wrote a shitty man. And the fact that you can't recognize it is because you're a shitty man.
Yeah.
No,
because there is no reason now for why is Mike like that. It's just like, I don't know, man. He just sucks.
He just sucks. Like, he just sucks. He's a shitty man. And, like, I don't know. I can't, there's not even, like, there wasn't really a good payoff to any of that, because I can appreciate a complex character, specifically, like, complex women. When they're written, like, they're not always perfect and great, and they make mistakes, but you didn't demonstrate that to us, and he never made any improvement. I never saw a character
framed as a mistake or like this is a
it's
character flaw of Mike.
Yeah.
He just acts shitty, and everyone's just like whatever.
That.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it's like, it's also in the, like, if there's anything to, it's like, oh, well, he's been through a lot. Well, so has everyone.
Yeah.
So has Will. And he's not like that. He's not a shitty ass guy. All he does is uplift him and Mike. All he does is support Mike, and he's been through more than Mike, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like boo. It's boo. I wish, and guess what? And people love, also other gay people, but also just people in general say this is not queer baiting, this is not queer baiting, or this is not the worst. If you guys think this is bad, you should see that's whatever. All the other ships that have also been queer baiting. But to me, I am a queer and I got baited. Because the only reason I watched this motherfucking show in 2 weeks is because I saw some really great edits of Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the only reason I watched the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
So I got baited. And
Isn't
so
it
was
crazy
queer bait to me.
Also, that Volume 1 was written in full before the strike, and then they came back and they're like, you know what? Fuck Byler.
Literally.
Because
written
I
before
feel
the
like
strike, and written before one of the Duffers got divorced.
Yeah. And said divorced wife was like the OG Byler.
Yeah, the OG Byler and the creator of Fear Street.
Yeah.
Which has a very strong queer relationship in its forefront. So, like, of course, all this time we were building off of what we thought was a white man doing something, but it's been a woman the whole time. Of course! It's been a woman's influence the entire time. Like, of course.
It's just crazy to me. It's like, you can just tell that they came back and it feels like
Someone
Volume
says there
1.
was theories that there was AI heavily involved in the final writing. I mean, that's why we have so many weird consistencies, like with Melvald's having the milkshakes thing, because that happened in the play. Because Melvald's used to be a place where there's ice cream, but now in present day, it's just a general store. And so, like, you think AI, because AI would be like, oh yeah, well, Melvald's does ice cream, because in the play, that's what it used to be.
Yeah.
So, a potential
it just
theory
feels like
there,
totally very different from Volume 1 and the rest of it. And it's like, what happened between...
In Volume 4, because Volume 4, Will's arc was very sad with him having these repressed feelings, but his monologue in the car was just great queer media, even though being very sad, but like felt so real. It just felt so real, and then the rest of it is just slop. It's slop.
Everyone was like, so many people I know were like, the Duffer Brothers said that they're gonna kill 4 people and they're gonna kill main characters, blah blah blah. And there were so many theories, and people kept trying to theorize with me, and all I could think in my head, I would be like, yeah, no, I agree. And in my back of my head, I'm like, they're not fucking killing anybody. And I was right. I feel vindicated in that.
Because they've never
when
really
no one
killed
died,
anyone.
I was like, and I fucking told everyone so. I watched that shit in a week, and I knew no one was gonna die, because when you don't kill Max, that tells me you're not willing to kill anybody.
True.
Because Max straight up died. And they're like, man, then 11, touched her heart, and now she's alive again.
Right.
And also her eyes are no longer gouged out, and all her bones aren't crushed, so.
Right. Yeah.
I kind of got scared, though, that Murray was going to die first. Why does everyone... Oh, I guess the actor, right? Is that why everyone hates Murray? Because he's, like, a raging Zionist really, really bad.
Oh, yeah. I think
like,
so.
with no remorse.
I think so, yeah.
But I didn't know that when I was watching it, and he was my favorite part about, season 2? Season 2 on, and he just seems so, like, irrelevant that it's just, like, he's gonna die. But he never does.
I really thought he was when he was throwing the
bomb. I was like,
I thought he was gonna just die.
I literally put my hand on my head. I was like, no, don't make him the only death. But that would make sense because who gives a fuck about Murray? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it would make sense he was the only death.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was harder to kill Billy before he was a part of the Mind Flayer. Like, it was harder to defeat him and to lock him in a fucking sauna than it was to kill the Mind Flayer and Vecna.
Actually, yes.
Together.
Wow. So that's our opinions. I know some of you are maybe waiting with bated breath, but a lot of you have already heard from us.
Yeah.
A lot of you have already heard from us because there was a lot to be said. And,
all the inconsistencies aside, like, the final fight was just boring. Like, it was just boring, and the whole build-up to it was boring. I was like, bro, this is so... And which is, like, not hard thing to say, but, like, I don't think that about the whole show at all. Yeah. I think that season 4 was very exciting and, like, leading up to the final fight.
Totally.
Even if there is a lot of bullshit, because it is, you know, at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I don't think the best written. I think... I've always thought that, but a lot of people also didn't agree. They're like, the details. I'm like, I don't think they're thinking about no details.
Yeah.
But, I never thought it was straight up like, oh my god, this is boring to watch until volume 2.
Totally.
Of season 5, even the beginning of season 5, but I think that lead up to that fight with all the demigorgons and Will's powers and everything, that was exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
But then it just goes back to like Nothing Burger until the finale, which is also giving Nothing Burger.
Yep. Pretty much. There's of course more to be said, but I don't really want to talk about it because I'm just mad. Like I'm not gonna have anything else good to say.
Right, real. The only good thing about the finale was that Steve became a sex ed teacher and baseball coach, which was funny to me. Yeah, that was
real.
I was like, you know what, yeah.
And Nancy in my head is a lesbian now because that haircut, like, girl.
Yeah.
Calls
it
clear.
True.
Sorry. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, welcome to 2026, going in on a crazy note. But, you know, along with that, we're going to do our 2026 ins and outs. And I can start because mine is directly related to Stranger Things to begin. One of my first happy gay endings. I would like more happy gay endings. What more to be said? I think we've already talked about this on the show, how we think there needs to be. I think we should, yeah. I think, okay. There's not more to be, we've already talked about this, but we need more happy gay endings. Not everything needs to be, it needs to be real, and it needs to be happy. Not everything needs to be made up and, sad, so.
Yeah, I have something about that later on.
Okay.
My first in, though, of 2026 is Five Nights at Freddy's lore.
Real.
I think we all should, like, revisit our Five Nights at Freddy's obsessions, because I have been. But, like, I just, like, I need more. Like, am craving more deep lore and, like, getting into it, really, and stuff like that. Even though it freaks me out, like, I have not slept without my fairy lights since I saw FNAF 2, which is, like, maybe I'm just scared of it, but, like, I'm also, like, weirdly fascinated. I don't know. Fair. I think FNAF already did come back in a big way with the release of the second movie, but I'm like, let's keep it going.
Right.
Because I'm sure we'll get 3 in 2027, so, like, let's just ride it through the year.
Yeah. Keep it going, like, keep it strong. Don't, like, let it, because it was, like, FNAF 1, the FNAF 2. Mm-hmm. No, like, keep it going. Okay, that's real. Continuing the theme with mine, more queer ships and crack ships. And or both. So just start shipping more people gay, get more gay. More crack ships of, like, shipping people from completely different, media. Like, I loved when we were going through the Roderick and Regina ships, and then I loved when people were making it Yuri. Like, yes! Yeah. That's what I want to see. So, we need more of that. And we need to stop, like, tell people who are so anti that, like, literally fuck off, because it's not not that serious. Like, it's not affecting anyone. I can ship whoever I want. Not real people. I'm not really for that. But the characters in media, like, they're fake. I can put them with whoever I want them to be with, and it doesn't matter if it's real or not. It doesn't.
Right.
It's real to me.
Yeah, no, because that's also, like, a big, how Wattpad started. Like, one of the biggest fandoms in Wattpad when Wattpad was first starting when we were kids was Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons, and that's Hiccup is shipped with Merida, yes. Jack Frost is shipped with Elsa.
Yes.
And sometimes Jack Frost is also shipped with Rapunzel from Tangled. And they were cooking. Like, and I read so many of those fan fictions, and that was, like, literally a fandom within itself. And, like, all of those are crack ships because they would never interact.
Yeah. But they're good.
But
so
it was
more
real.
Of that,
like, that was, people were die hard.
Yeah.
My second one is 5 Seconds of Summer, the band, because they just released their new album and it was really good, and I don't think anyone appreciated it enough. And also they're about to go on tour, so. And they also, I feel, are on a new label that actually gives a fuck whether they're successful or not, and is giving them really cool opportunities, which wasn't true for their last album, which was their best album, but no one talks about it or knows about it.
Gotcha. Okay, my next one is making book care packages with friends, and I feel like I've kind of, well, maybe I've talked about this before, but just more sharing physical media and sharing your books and, like, annotating together. Just more of that. It's fun. And anything to get off that damn phone. And I'm speaking to myself.
Yeah, that's fair. Sorry, I was playing with Ginger's nose because she was kind of acting like she was dead. My third one is everyone being a little gay. Like, I'm done pretending that my opinion isn't objective, because it is. I think everyone's a little bit gay, and I just think everyone's a little too afraid to admit it. I don't care if you're going to tell me that's just my viewpoint on the world. I just know it's true. With everything that with the rise of heated rivalry, and also the popular of Byler, and also fan being real, like, you are all gay. You're all gay. You just aren't ready to accept it. Everyone is a little bit gay. Like, I don't actually believe in a straight person.
Yes,
So.
I can support that. And I think the world would be a better place if we, because I think it's genuine. I think it is true that everyone's a little bit gay, and the problems we have in the world are people actively fighting against that.
Yeah.
And so if we just embraced it, I think the world would be a better place. Okay, romance. And I don't mean necessarily, like, romance with other people, or like a girlfriend-boyfriend type relationship. I just mean, like, romanticizing your life and make everything, like, fall in love with life, be, Charlie XCX already said it, so it's crazy to say it's in 2026, but yeah, just genuinely, like, making your loving life and, like, feeling like you live in a movie that you want to live in, and it's happy, and it's the way you want, and you love it. I think that's what we should be doing.
Yeah. Is my mic still working? Yeah, it is. Okay. I moved around. I just wanted to make sure. My next one that's in is Has Been Hotel. Mostly because I'm obsessed with it, but also it gets such, like, a cringe rep.
Yeah. I've never told you, but I see, sometimes I go through the comments of things, and I get, like, people genuinely hating on Has Been Hotel so hard.
Oh, yeah.
People
hate on there's also a good amount of plot holes, but I'm not watching it because I think it's genius writing, but...
Sure.
Which is fair enough. But everyone hates both of those fandoms, because Hello Boss is my favorite of the two shows. But I put Has Been Hotel because I just think it's fun. And I think everyone likes musical theater also more than they think. And also a lot of people just think that they're above liking Has Been Hotel. And I'm here to tell you, you're probably not.
Yeah.
And also... like, I just don't care. Like, I don't care if it's cringe, and you can't really change my mind on that.
Period.
But that's why it's in, because, like, that goes along with my idea in my head that, like, nothing is cringe anymore. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, like, that wasn't my in, but, like, bring back... I think 2025 was a big year of bringing back just being cringe and, like, not giving a fuck, and I think we need to continue that. And I also, with the musical thing, like, I think Wicked really proved that. Like, a lot of you do not hate musicals as much as you think you do.
True.
And if you think you do, maybe you need to watch Wicked. If you haven't. If you think, you're like, I would never watch Wicked because I don't like musicals, then maybe you need to watch.
Yep.
Okay. Being alone, which we talk about all the time, but, like, genuinely... we need to be okay with prioritizing being alone. It should be just important to have your alone time as it is to make time for friends and make time for your family and make time for your partner. It should be just as important. No one should have to be worrying about denying a plan because they want to say, I just want to have a night alone. Mm-hmm. So we need to be like, it needs to be that important because it is. Like, knowing yourself, and it kind of goes with the romance thing, like, taking yourself on a date or whatever is just as important as spending time with the other people in your life. So it needs to be highlighted.
My next one is movie theaters are in. I just think that, especially with Netflix acquiring, what was it? HBO or Warner Brothers as a
which
whole.
owns
I was
HBO,
like the bigger of that company.
Yep.
I think more than ever it's important that we're going to the movie theater all the time. If you want to see a movie, stop saying you're going to wait for it to come on streaming. Streaming is going to kill movie theaters, and it's going to kill media in general. And I would argue it already has. There's so many movies that are just like made because they don't know people are going to watch them, like Tubi-ass movies and things like that.
True.
And I just think that if we want... I don't know. If we still want it to be a lucrative business and that type of media to move people, that we need to go to the movie theaters to see things that we care about. And maybe that's easy for me to say because I pay per month, so I'm not paying per movie, and it does get expensive to go to the movies. But I also do think that there's like affordable ways, and there's also like movie theaters do half off Tuesdays. So like it's pretty much like $7 to go to the movie theater on a Tuesday to see any movie you want. And yeah, I just think we all need to go to the movie theaters. And I think that if a movie like Frankenstein is ever released to streaming again, I'm going to kill someone. Because that is such a crime. It's that and the new Knives Out. Straight to...
True.
They had limited releases, but that's because they realized these streaming companies that already own these movies that were going to release them straight to streaming, which they did, realized that people would pay to go see it and then did limited releases to make money, essentially, which... But, like, those should be... Frankenstein should be a theatrical release. Like, are we fucking kidding me? And I haven't even... And I'm saying that I haven't even seen it yet because I don't want to watch it on my TV in my living room. Because I'm like, it's not gonna be the experience I want. I also just... whenever I own a house, I'm gonna need a movie theater room. Like, giant screen and then black out everything. Because, like, I love watching movies in that way now. Especially movies like that. It's like, I hate watching movies on streaming unless, like, it's like I'm watching it in a casual, fun way with my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's not...
Not because of the movie of it all or the media of it all.
Right. And also same with that, like, you have the AMC A-lister, and so that is what makes it more affordable and easy to see lots of movies. But you don't have to go to a chain theater. If you're in a city, there's probably a local theater that is cheaper, and maybe they're not showing all the new releases, but they will show older movies, and it's just good to support those places because a lot of them are historical. So those are also options available for you. My next one, reading everywhere and anywhere. I want to see people reading in the craziest of places that you could imagine and being like, well, yeah. Like, I want it to be ridiculous. I want you to be reading in a bar that is so... I want to see people reading in the club. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I want to see it actually be ridiculous, but I want to see it. I want to see people reading everywhere and anywhere they can.
I cannot do that. It has to be dead silent if I'm reading, unless it's fan fiction, in which case it doesn't matter.
And I
could be reading AO3 on my phone.
Well, there you go.
One of my
I
want
to see reading AO3 anywhere.
One of my college friends, Liz, when I say she like exactly what you described, but she's reading like BTS AO3 fan fictions on her phone. Like, we'll be mid conversation. Like, let's say she was the co-pod host, and like you start talking, she'd be like this. And then she just jump right back in, and then like it's like she's still listening actively but she's reading at the same time. I can't do it. I can't do two things at once. I would be locked in and I wouldn't be hearing anything you say, but she can do it and like be an active listener as well. There were multiple times in college where like I would start a conversation and we'd be like 5 minutes into the conversation, and then I'd be talking and she would just pull out her phone and start reading as I'm like mid conversation, but then she would just like answer and keep going, and I'm like, all right,
sure, if you can keep the conversation up, then I guess.
If that's hopeful, there are people out there who are doing that shit 24/7.
And I want more of that.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the conversations. If you can handle it, then it's fine. But like, yes.
Okay, my next in is Yuri in our shows and movies. And I say this specifically coming off of the heated rivalry hype, because heated rivalry not only touched the queer community, which I think everyone... Yeah. Like, I knew it was coming out before it came out.
Yeah.
I was anticipating release of Heated Rivalry, which I cannot say about the other major part of its fan base, which is straight women.
Right.
Right? And there is nothing wrong well, there is things wrong with being a straight woman, but like there's nothing wrong with being a straight woman and wanting to consume gay media, especially. I don't think there's anything wrong with with liking heated rivalry. That's not my point, but I'm saying that if heated rivalry was Yuri, it would not have reached that sub audience, because I do think that women, especially straight women, do like heated rivalry or gay media in general, and myself included. I mean, I'm not straight, but like I do like gay, like MLM media a lot, because I think it is men in a dynamic where they are equals with their partner. And I think women so badly, especially women who are attracted to men, straight women, love to see a romantic dynamic where the man and his partner are equal, because that is never true in real life. And a woman will never experience that with a man. Yeah. So being able to see that fantasy sort of play out, it's like I get why women love it so much, because they never will get to experience that.
Right.
And that's my own thought about how I feel about it as well.
Totally.
But I do think that Yuri and WLW needs to have the same hype, and I want it more in everything, in mainstream media, even just shows about Yuri in general, etc., books about Yuri in general. Like, it doesn't have to be mainstream media with a couple. Like, it can just be like heated rivalry, where the plot is that they're gay, and that they're like, and it's a romance, you know what I mean? But we need more of it, because I just think it's so unproportional, and it's in terms of popularity and frequency. So
yeah,
bring in more Yuri.
Yes. I have Queer Connection. I feel like that's in Minneapolis anyways, definitely been an up and coming thing with the creation of the Sapphic Social Club. And then, we're trying to get a lesbian bar in here. And anyways, just more queer connection, specifically platonic, making a community in real life of queer people. Because that also goes with some of my outs. But it's like, we have, I think, a pretty well-established online community of queer people, which is great. But we need to be having a lot of these conversations in real life, because online things tend to get a little toxic. I don't know a great way to describe it, but like genuinely some of the conversation, I'll get to it, but some of the conversations we're having online would be solved in an instance if we just would have them in person in our actual queer communities versus on the online queer discourse. So, but that's my Queer Connection. More of that.
My next in is Chainsaw Man. That's because in 2025 the movie came out, and I don't think season 2 is going to come out until 2027, but it is such a good story about childhood abuse, as well as those cycles of grooming and stuff like that. And I just don't think that the general GA who has read it or watched it really understands the main character Denji for what he is. Everyone calls it the Gooner anime, and that they're like, ew, like Denji's so gross, all he wants to do is have sex, or like men like think that's so funny and like they love him so much from it. But it's like quite literally the storyline is that he just is consistently getting groomed by these women in power for his chainsaw powers. And he's 16, and all he wants, he doesn't understand love. He's been an orphan his whole life basically. And to him, as a 16-year-old boy, in his mind, he equates love to sex, because that's the only thing he's been taught, especially now by these women who dangle sex over him, who are significantly older than him, to get him to do what they want.
Right.
And I just, there's part 2 of the anime is what's coming out, so it's split into part 1 and part 2, and like part 2 has gotten really, really good, and it's just like, if you haven't picked it up yet, and you are an anime fan in any way, you need to pick up the manga and you need to read it. Or if you are like media literate in like any way, like please just get into Chainsaw Man, because I'm sick of the fandom that exists right now, because they all just don't get it for what it should be, and that pisses me off, because I think it's so good. And with this huge popular upswing with the movie coming out, because the season 1 came out a while ago, so like this is the second entry into the anime, and the first entry in a long time. I just know that when season 2 comes out, it's going to be big. And a lot of the anime community is now kind of turning their eye towards Chainsaw Man, and the Reze arc, which was what the movie was so good, and such an isolatedly good story. And it was the first time in anime and manga history for me in my consuming where I thought that the anime adaptation elevated and added to the manga in a way that made it the story better. 9 times out of 10 the manga is going to be better because it's the original and you're adapting from that. Same with, you know, book to movie adaptations, same premise. This was the first time where I was like, the movie was better because it added so much and it was so fucking well done. So, and yeah, I got to see the Chainsaw Man cast talk about Chainsaw Man and stuff at Comic-Con this year, and it's so good, and I'm so excited, and I think everyone needs to hop on the Chainsaw Man train before season 2 comes out. So
okay, real. My next one is obsessions with media, and this has nothing to do with last episode, of course. But just, yeah, get into art. And art is movies, TV shows, actual, like, physical art, books, things like that. Just really be so passionate about it. Your friends know that you love it, and they know that about you, and they can think or hear of that media and think of you, and they see something related to that in the store, and they'd be like, this would be a good gift. I just think, like, we should be passionate about things and let other people know we're passionate about them. Because I think that's what's great about people, is how different tastes we have, and knowing that about them and seeing them get excited over it. So that's my thought.
I agree. I don't need to try any harder at that.
Yeah.
I'm actually the best at it.
I'm mostly telling other people because they need to match our freak.
I'm actually the best at it because every single thing ever in my life has to do with an obsession.
Yeah. Like,
literally my phone background right now is my favorite scene from Hell of a Boss. And my phone case is from Frozen, and then my thing is from Pokemon. So okay, my next in is Grace Ryder. She is the female comedian who made the very, very, very famous now YouTube video, The Hunger Games, but better. And it's just basically like a parody movie about the Hunger Games. And it is so funny because you can tell it's a parody, but she does such a good Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss.
Totally.
You can tell she's watched it a million times. And in watching that, it kicked off my obsession with her. Like, I've watched now a ton of her YouTube videos, and she has a podcast that comes out every week, and I watch it now every week. I just think she's so funny, and she posts on TikTok a lot as well. Like, her YouTube videos, she's not posting consistent YouTube videos. Pretty much the Hunger Games but Better was her first kind of big swing into YouTube. But I am gunning for her to be on SNL. Like, she is that funny. She needs to be, like, in the same famous comedian space as Caleb Heron, Mary Beth Barone, Benito Skinner, etc., etc. I would argue she is funnier than most of those people because she's also a woman who is Gen Z, who's literally our age. Yeah. And she's just so fucking funny. I just love everything she does. There's like, after Heated Rivalry, her most famous TikTok now, but I had already been obsessed because Heated Rivalry came out after Hunger Games but better. So I opened TikTok after watching the first few episodes, and it's her, and she goes, yeah, I was like watching Heated Rivalry, and then at one point I just turned it off and started watching gay porn. And I was like, well, yes. So funny. I just think she's hilarious, and I think everyone needs to hop on the train. I think she's getting her flowers for how big the Hunger Games but better was. I agree. But I just want her to be bigger and bigger, and I want her to be a main comedian in the comedian space. Totally. Like one of the bigs. I want her to be.
It would be great to see. I think they would be too scared to have her on SNL because I truly think she would outshine.
She is hilarious.
She would outshine because she can do... She is just genuinely funny, but she can also do her characters, or her acting is good.
She is a good actress. She's a very good actress.
Hunger Games, watch the Hunger Games but better. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
YouTube, and watch how she plays Katniss. Like, serious.
It is literally like a dead on Jennifer Lawrence in like the scariest way.
In a way that's so good, like, but still so funny.
Yes. And like, it's just bringing back that early 2000s humor as well, which I can appreciate. Yeah. But even her acting in certain scenes, and she has chemistry with everyone, which is so funny because Gail and Peeta are played by brothers, which is a hilarious call. She has chemistry with both of them. Yeah. She's just a great actress. Like, and it's funny because she's clearly doing comedy and being a comedian and not taking herself too seriously, right? But I genuinely think she could be like a real actress and like a serious actress because I think her acting is that good.
Yeah.
So.
Nope, I agree. That's a really great in. Next I have third spaces, which has obviously been a thing, but I just think like to be a regular at some place, like it doesn't have to be a restaurant or bar or something like that, is just like so special. And that kind of goes with like my theory of like libraries, which I always say, but like y'all bring back libraries and just hang out at libraries. Like libraries are so great. So bring back libraries, and also getting out of the house and getting out of work and having a third neutral space. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. I have 2 more.
Okay.
My next one
I only have 1 more.
is Dan and Phil. I don't think they ever left, but I don't care. They're so back. They're so back and they're so in because Fan is real, and now they have their white man podcast, and like it's so I just love them, and I don't even think that they're that funny anymore because they have millennial humor, but I don't care. I'm so entertained by them, and I adore them so much, and it's just like the journey that they have gone through, like the internal like Dan's internalized homophobia was so bad he didn't come out to anyone for 16 years. It has always been gay. They've been dating since they met. And it's like, that's 16 years of his life taken up by fear and hatred and all the bad things in the world and all the homophobic things in the world. And it's like, for both of them to reach a point where like they have a couples YouTube channel now, it's just kind of amazing in a way. And it's just, I just think that they deserve all the happiness in the world, spending so much of your life closeted and so afraid and stuff. And I don't know. I'm like, all right, well, everyone needs to get on their Dan and Phil shit now that they're open and out about it and, you know, finally ready to be happy. And it's just like, and they deserve that because they're in their Phil's in his late 30s and Dan's in his mid 30s. And it's like this, now they're finally starting to live, you know? And it's just like, yeah, everyone needs to get into Dan and Phil for that.
Yeah, and they made Byler canon.
Yeah, true. In a YouTube Rewind, they were Byler.
Like, they have a special place in the world. Okay, my last one is tea. Less coffee, more tea. That's it, because I don't drink coffee, and I want more people to drink tea with me. That's it.
I drink a lot of tea. I drink tea every single day. That's why I don't allow myself to keep all my mugs. Because if I wasn't using them, then I would fear I would have to get rid of them.
Right.
Yeah, me and Andrew are big tea
it should be
influencers because we just be drinking tea all the time. Okay, my last one is casual gay couples and big media canon. Like just having like it doesn't have to be. We've talked about this when we talked about gay representation. Like it doesn't have to. Heated rivalry is not a good example of what I'm trying to say because that show is a romance about and the two characters. It's a gay romance. That is the whole point. But like. If Byler was canon, that would have been a really good example, basically. You know, shows that aren't necessarily about romance.
Exactly, yeah.
But you do have these couples that are just together and it's gay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a big having to discover about yourself, I guess. Byler wouldn't fall in that category, but like, you know what I mean? Like they're just together and it's gay.
Yes. Agreed. Definitely agreed. Okay. Our outs. First one I have, and this is mostly targeted at myself, is TikTok doom scrolling. I think I don't really do like a resolution type thing, but if I were to have one resolution for the year, it's like to fix my relationship with my phone. And that is including like, I think I need to put a time limit on TikTok because it's a little bit crazy. Like it's a little bit insane. So I want everyone else to also think it's a little bit crazy and insane so that we can all be on the same page. Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, that's fair. It's hard for me to feel like my TikTok consumption is a bad thing because it is really bad in a lot, but that's because I'm not watching I'm watching edits because I've all the different obsessions I have. Even when I turned all the Stranger Things off, I just watched the show The Amazing Digital Circus, also very good, also would scratch everyone's Stranger Things itch because there's a big conspiracy and details actually do matter in the show, so it's everything that Stranger Things wasn't in that sense. But even when I had all that shit turned off and all I've been watching for a month is Byler edits, I had edit. I could just scroll through edits. I did that whole night and I literally wasn't missing out on anything. Right. So, and that's what makes it hard for me to be like, this is doom scrolling. This is bad because it is. Because to me, it's feeding the fandoms that I'm already thinking about every time. And that's really what's dangerous because I could just keep going.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Because that's what I want to be participating in, per se. And it doesn't feel like I'm getting trapped, but I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
My first out is marriage ever at all. Like, not just marriage with a man. Like, I'm, like, if you're getting married this year, congrats. But, so take this with a grain of salt, right? I just think marriage is so fucked up, and I think it's stupid, and I think that it is a way to control women and own them, and even if you're two men, that is just what it's about, and, like, I can't remove that piece of it in my mind to be like, marriage is a good thing. So, like, I'm just and I'm sick of everyone getting married right now. Like, you're all too young. I'm sorry. You guys are gonna be unhappy in 10, 15, 20 years. Definitely in 20 years. But I think it'll be as soon as 10, or maybe even less 5, honestly. I think, especially if you're a woman, I think that it is the worst thing you could ever do to yourself. And I have never met a middle-aged woman in my life who did not regret it. Like, actually. Every parent that has ever talked to me about it, especially if they're women, were like, the biggest mistake I ever did was get married, ever. Like, and they're like, don't ever get married.
And if they don't regret their partner, they just regret doing it young. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, yeah.
So
it's completely valid.
That's my hottest take. I hate marriage. I hate the whole idea of it. I hate the premise. Love a wedding. But that doesn't matter. That is irrelevant,
but
unrelated.
You can have a celebration of
love and commitment without it being legal and binding. Especially in this freaking political climate. Like, girl, you're not scared that you're gonna get stuck, because it is seeming more and more these days like you're gonna get stuck.
We're slowly reverting, and let's remember a time when women weren't allowed to divorce their partners. Mm-hmm. So just remember that. Like, yeah, if we've gotten laws overturned before, so whatever. This one's kind of out of left field, I feel like, but it's true to my mind. Thirst editing pictures of people when they were minors and or just young. I just feel like if it were me, as my age of 23, which is that long ago, and people were like making an edit of me and it was only pictures of me when I'm like 17, 18, 19, I'm gonna shoot you with a gun. Yeah. Because why are you basically saying that my hottest point of my life was when I was a child and very young and had a child's body and a child face? Like, I just think if we're like making edits of men and women when they are very young, like, you're trying to be nice, but like, you're saying that the prime of their life was when they were young. Like, I don't like that. Like, when they were like a baby, I don't like that. It feels weird to me every time I see it. I'm like, you're thirsting over what they used to be when they were a child, and if that was me, I would feel so uncomfortable. Not even just the child aspect, which of course, like, but most of the people making these edits I think are also children, but it's just like, you're saying the prime of my life was when I had a child's body, and I have to actively work every day to tell myself that it is okay that I have a woman's body now and not a child's body and a child's face. And then you're going to make an edit of me when I am a child? Like, that's going to make me mad. So, like, stop. None of my friends are editors, but if you're an editor out here, like, let's think. Like, let's maybe use something more current. I don't know. That's how I feel. It weighs on my heart because I just am feeling empathetic about that towards other people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My next one is boyfriends are out. I think that's been true for a long time, but I think it is the most big in the cultural zeitgeist that it's ever been. Mm-hmm. Like, I think women are really coming to terms with the fact that, like, having a boyfriend is embarrassing, and also, like, wanting a boyfriend, or like women are realizing that men don't bring anything to the table is kind of the point I'm bringing up, that I'm getting to. And I think more women than ever have realized that, and that they want specific things from a partner. Even if they are straight, it's like, I want these things coming from a man, and if he's not giving that, then I don't want to date him or anyone. Yeah. And I think that is huge and major. But also, like, in a personal sense, like, I just am sick of it. Like, I don't want your boyfriend to come. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see pictures of it on Instagram. I'm sick of everyone at like a fucking holiday or National Boyfriend Day or whatever the fuck posting their boyfriends, and I'm like, they're all so fucking ugly. Like, I just like, I know that men have been ugly the whole time, and this is just something I'm like realizing. But it used to feel like girls like had hot boyfriends, and now I just feel like they're all ugly. And I'm just sick of it. Like, I don't want to hear about it. Like, I'm just like, I think if you have a boyfriend, you should be like a little bit embarrassed, and you should probably like not be so open about that. That's what's out for me in 2026.
You should have like a little bit of a hesitation to tell other people.
Right. Yes. Like, I
like,
can't imagine making a friend for the first time and then having to be like, yeah, and I have a boyfriend. Like, if I met a girl and we're like hanging out, like, and we're like in a friend way, and she's like, yeah, I have a boyfriend, you want to see it? I'd be like, I'm good. I don't think we're gonna hang out again. That's funny.
And yeah, I kind of I definitely understand it.
Like, you're making a new friend for the first time, and you're telling me I'm not gonna invest in you as a friend if I know you have a fuck ass boyfriend, especially if he's ugly.
Is that terrible of us to say? I feel like
I don't care. I know better.
Yeah, we do know better, but like, genuinely,
why would a man ever be there? Why is your stupid cat there? Like, that TikTok made me laugh so bad. There was a TikTok, and it was like, it was a scene from Princess and the Pauper, but the setup is like me when I'm looking at my best friend when she's about to get married, and then and then like her boyfriend somehow thinks he's gonna be walking down the aisle with her too. Yeah. Like, and it's just the whole idea of like, you're not gonna marry her. Like, she's way too hot for you. Like, I'm gonna marry her. Mm-hmm. And it's the fucking Preminger walking in. He goes, oh, and
princess,
he goes, yeah,
princess.
And then he goes, what's this stupid cat doing here? Like, that's literally how I feel. That's literally how I feel about every boyfriend ever made.
Yeah. Guys, like, don't, like,
and guess what, my sister's a lesbian, so I never have to deal with that in a familial way ever. Woo!
Like, actually rip, and actually so jealous. Like, I can't even talk about it. Like, let's talk about my Christmas and having 3 men there. Like, let's talk about 3 men in my Barbie dream house. That is my parents' home.
That was so, I love opening Facebook, especially around holidays, because your mom be spam posting in the best way.
Yeah.
And I opening it around Christmas, and it's the photo collection, and it's her matching pajamas with your dad, your sister and her boyfriend, your other sister and her boyfriend, your other sister and her boyfriend, all in the matching pajamas, and then it's you also matching with all of the straight couples. I was like, yes. And
guys,
Oreo,
like,
work that photo, Oreo.
Like, if you think it's not this serious, us saying like no more boyfriends, like, know that I've been personally victimized, so like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I've been suffering the wrath of like being involved around straight couples, so like, I get to say that I don't want no more. So anyways, next is being invested in celebrity lives. Like, we need to genuinely just not, like, you're giving the bad ones more power by genuinely being so obsessed with them, and then you're also scrutinizing people in such a way that it makes them hard to live and be a person. And everyone deserves to live and be a person, I think. And so we need to genuinely just stop. Like, they're like, be obsessed with the art, be obsessed with the media, not obsessed with the person behind it. And like, leave them alone. Like, leave people alone. Like, I can't imagine living that life. Yeah,
I agree. And also, the more you personally invest in celebrities, the more you're going to be let down. Because once you make enough money, you're evil.
Yes. Yep.
Even if you aren't, like, overtly so.
Yes.
My next one is Harry Potter. We have to stop. And that's me being a Marauders fan. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, when you're a Marauders fan, like, everything I consume is not created by J.K. Rowling.
Right.
The characters in their basis are, but like, also she wrote that Sirius Black dies immediately after everyone thought he was gay, like, shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Freaking Remus in canon, like, marries a woman who is half his age and she has his kid, and that's the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, he's a predator. Mm-hmm. She turns him into a predator because everyone shipped him in Sirius, and she was like, actually Sirius is dead and Remus is actually a predator now.
Yep.
Because fuck you guys. But like, if you didn't know, now you know. J.K. Rowling genuinely spent millions of her money that she has made this past year on an anti-trans bill that passed in the UK. She was like the main funder of it, and it was millions of dollars. And I think there's a difference between a woman separating the art and the artist, in the sense of like, you can appreciate Harry Potter for what it was, I think, before I before I found out that directly supporting that art does do actual tangible harm. Like, I can like put a dollar amount to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I cannot consume Harry Potter merchandise and like anything that monetarily is going to go back to her is what I think is super, super. I think Harry Potter in general is out. Like, I do think we need to move on from it. And like, if you are that obsessed still, like, girl, just read all the young dudes and get into the Marauders fandom and just pick up the fan fiction, because like, I promise there is an outlet for, because what is so great about Harry Potter is like the world, you know, that world building, the wizarding world and stuff. And I just think that we can leave the canon behind. And if you really can't let go of the world in general, and that's me saying this as a huge Marauders fan, right? Like, I know I can't let go of the world, but you just have to invest in everything that's on AO3, because like, that's real people, most of them queer.
Yes. And women.
So, yes.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, you can still call yourself a fan. It's like just the act of supporting monetarily of it that's really the problem.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like anti Harry Potter. Next I have commenting on each other's bodies, and I mean good and bad, obviously. And in general, like, we just need to stop. Even when we're trying to make others feel good about themselves online, it can come off backhanded, and we're so much more than our bodies. And even in our bodies looking good, like, I think that's really what it is. Like, even with the well-intentioned, I think your body is great. Like, let's make our bodies more about what they do for us and how they keep us going and how they help us do the other things in life, and support our personality. And it's where our personality lives. That is what our body should be about, and what our compliments should be about, is about what we are and who we are, not what we look like. And we need to just stop talking about other people's bodies, even in a good way. Even there are some important things to be said. I'm going to bring up, like, this kind of goes with one of my other outs, but like the whole Cynthia Erivo or Ariana Grande conversation, and the ED as a whole is obviously a very serious topic, and is something that needs to be addressed, but that is something that needs to be addressed by the people that love those people, not random people on the internet who feel like they need to have something to say about someone else's body. Like, you're not helping. Ariana Grande is never going to read your message as saying, I think she is too skinny, for her own good. Is that maybe a valid message to say? Maybe in your personal life, you're checking on your friends and family, making sure they are not being concerningly skinny. You on the internet saying, this woman is too skinny and I think she's showing a bad message and I'm worried about her. No one cares. No one cares what you have to say. You're just spreading message to hate on women and comment on women's body, and you're reinforcing that we can talk about women's bodies without them being a part of their own conversations. And you're saying that about skinny people. That just, people are going to relate that you can also comment on fat people too. Like, it's just not productive. Even though you think it is, you're not the one having the conversations that need to be happening.
And I think that the broader conversation doesn't have to be related to specific women's bodies.
Yes.
The whole ED culture coming back, and the whole ED bodies are being pushed on women these days, and encouraging that behavior, that, like, you can have that conversation without commenting on specific women's bodies, I think.
Yes,
because
totally.
I do think it's an important conversation, but I agree, it's never gonna be productive when you're pointing it out
About a
specific
specific
women,
someone,
especially famous women, because they are never gonna give a fuck with what you have to say.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, I agree with that. My next one, also a hot take, the Grammys. I'm going to be judging everyone who's watching the Grammys this year, actually, because the Grammys just decided to be outward. Well, they've always been flawed. I'm not saying that this is anything new. There are so many artists that have been unfairly blacklisted from the Grammys. It is fucking insane. The Grammys are very biased on who is allowed and not allowed to be nominated and to win awards. Period, point blank. But they just said full swing, we're racist now. And it is blowing my mind that no big artists are, like, standing against that. Because there are so many artists who I like who have been nominated for Grammys this year, and they're all just like, thanks, like, and reposting their nominations. It's like, so Beyonce won Best Country Album last year, and in response to that, they have now split the Best Country Album into two categories: traditional country and non-traditional country. And which one do you think is for Black people? Because it's not their traditional. Traditional country, according to the Grammys, is white people country. And I'm not saying that white people cannot make good country music, but I'm saying if I had to take a guess on who created the genre of country music, none of my guesses would be a white person. Not in a million bajillion years. So fuck you. And, like, they created this new category for modern or more, like, R&B country so that less Black people have the chance to win the Best Country Album of the year, because the traditional country or traditional sounding country category is gonna be what's the main and renowned category. They just don't want another Black person to win. Period, point blank. And I'm sorry, all the artists in the fucking world who get nominated for Grammys consistently should have something to fucking say about that, and the fact that they don't is really disappointing. Like, very. I, like, think it's disgusting, actually, and I don't, like, to me, I think that Grammys did not hold a lot of professional weight in general for me because of their history of blacklisting people and just being unfair in general. But, like, if I were an artist, even if I was nominated for a Grammy, I would not go. I would not go this year, because I would be like, how are you guys allowing this? Because no one's saying anything, and it's gonna stand because no one said anything.
Right.
Or is pushing back.
Yeah.
If a ton of huge artists started pushing back on that, then things would be different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, the whole idea of award culture, not just in music, is just usually, I mean, just like everything else in this world created by the powerful and the rich, is built on systematic racism. And you could say that about every award show, but the fact that it's still actively being implemented today is just like, wow, great. Like, the
like
progress
a big
is
public
great.
swing like that is insane.
Yeah. Okay, my next one is online intercommunity hypothetical arguments. And I specifically say this about the queer community, and this goes back to, like, we need more real life queer connection, is because the queer community in general gets so much shit from the outside, obviously, actively hated on, especially in the America that we live in today. And yet, within the community online itself, we fight each other all the time about different lesbians versus bisexuals, he, him lesbians, trans men if they can identify as lesbian or not, trans rights in general, like, all things of that genuinely, if you were to meet another queer person in real life, you would never be saying that type of shit that you be saying online to their face, and you would never be having those conversations. You go up to a he, him lesbian in person and say, I don't think you deserve the right to identify like that. And, like, you would never do that. These are fake arguments. They're fake arguments based off fake people and fake scenarios. And we're just tearing each other down in a time of the world when we literally need to band together. It's just crazy. And it's just built from a place where we're just, of course, when you're being, what's the word I'm looking for? I lost my word, but, like,
marginalized?
Yes. When you're the one being marginalized and being attacked, I think it is kind of natural to have infighting, and I think it's perpetuated by being online, but, like, genuinely, it's like, go touch grass, but, like, go touch other queer people and, like, be friends with them and have these online conversations with them, and it won't be, seriously, I realize it really is never that serious, and that we're all together, and it doesn't matter what we identify as long as we are a part of the queer community together, the LGBTQ plus community together. That is what matters, and that we support each other and we love each other and we're there for each other. That's what matters, and not how people choose to identify within the community itself. And it just literally breaks my heart when I see all that stuff, and it makes me feel so sad and so down, because if we in the community itself can't even get along, how are we supposed to band against the people who actively hate us? Like, how are we, like, we can't do that if we're not working together. So that, it's really heavily on my mind all the time when I see arguments like that. Yeah. So that's out. Stop doing that. Go touch grass. Like, literally in a good way.
I have 2 more. That's
I have 1 more.
Okay. This one I don't really think needs any explanation, but out Stranger Things. I'm done.
Yeah. No more talking about it. We're
No
done.
more talking
You'll
about
never
it.
hear us talk about it again. Actually,
No.
I can't make that promise. We might talk about Byler again because
True.
that's still real to us, but like Stranger Things in general, like, no, we're not gonna talk about
over it.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm never gonna watch any more Stranger Things content, and I'm done. So.
Yep. Real. Okay, my final one, and I kind of already touched on this, is hyper analyzing women, specifically like all the energy that we put into analyzing every single woman's move, specifically women celebrities, with anything they do and everything they do, we need to be putting more of that effort into men. Because I'm surely if we did that with men, we would have a lot more coming out of all the terrible shit that the men be doing more than we have now, which we already have a lot of, like, oh, this male celebrity's bad, this male celebrity's bad, this male celebrity's bad. If we put that amount of effort that we do into women and, you know, a post that they make, a single post that they make, then maybe we would be able to cancel a lot more men that deserve to be canceled.
Yeah.
Because it's just crazy. Like, I mean, that's just always the way of the world. We're always going to analyze every single move that a woman makes. But, like, genuinely, that needs to, like, focus the efforts elsewhere. Like, let's move the radar. Because it's a bit cray. That's my final out.
My last one is the Pokemon Company and the newest Pokemon game, because I don't know if you guys keep up with that at all, but it sucks. The new game is like $100 for the Switch 2, or even just the Switch. It is crazy expensive, and you can tell that they put no effort into it. And like, there's so many glitches, and there are so many things that don't work in the gameplay, and it's like, you are one of the biggest companies and one of the biggest franchises ever. And they do it because they know that everyone's gonna buy the game.
Yeah,
it doesn't
of
matter.
course.
It just sucks because I want to play a new fucking Pokemon game, but I'm not gonna buy this game because it sucks.
Right.
And that upsets me because I was really excited about it, and then you get all these reviews and people are pirating it and stuff, and they're like, why is it so bad?
Yeah.
Why are all the graphics so poorly done? Like, Scarlet came out when I was in college still. So it's been like 3 years. And like, that's the most recent game before. And even that game had a lot of fucking issues, and I gave it the benefit of the doubt, and I played it, and I had fun. But I could recognize that game was also poorly made. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
What the fuck are we doing? And it doesn't make any sense because Pokemon is owned by Nintendo, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't know if that's true. But like, the competitors that may be owned by the same company, maybe not. I don't remember. Mario games consistently coming out, and they're fucking good and well done. Fucking Legend of Zelda don't come out as often. Every single time. Fucking amazing games. They're amazing. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Pokemon is so huge, and so many people love Pokemon. Like, why are we fumbling in this way? Like, it's actually pissing me off. So Pokemon is out right now for me in 2026. Make a fucking better game and come back in a few years and try to convince me again. Like, so that's why I said, oh, I should write that down. It's because of my Pikachu, and I was like, oh yeah, that is out.
That's good. I can't believe we didn't even talk about how many ins and outs to have, and we naturally like matched up exactly. Yeah. That's hilarious to me. But also I have one more in kind of along with that is like more girls playing games. Like, we were talking about this at our friend's birthday party yesterday, but like, genuinely we needed like women in male spaces, in that spaces, being on Discord together, playing whatever games we want to play. Like, that's going to be big in 2026.
Yeah.
Trust.
I agree. Being a gamer with a GAY is my favorite genre of my own personality.
Yeah.
And like, now I feel like I'm more of a gamer now than ever because I play Fortnite. That was,
and you're good at it.
Yes. That was not a lifelong thing. It's in my adult life thing.
Yeah.
Kevin, and JT were playing as Hatsune Miku's, 3 of us, each of us a different version of Miku. And I was sitting there, and I was like, so I'm almost like 25.
And what?
And I was like,
what?
And it could be worse. I could be having, 3 under 3 or whatever the fuck they say. Like, multiple little kids running around and making me want to blow my brains out, but I'm not. Exactly. I'm having a peaceful time with one of the only 2 males on this earth that are valid. There's actually only 3. There's 3 men I know that I'm like, you are allowed to exist in my head. And they all live at a distance from me, which makes it easier to also
And that's why
swallow.
that it
Right.
works.
I'm sure if
Yeah.
I was around Kevin all the time, we would kill each other.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love him, because I do.
Yep.
But, like, yeah. No, I was literally thinking that. I'm like, wow. I was like, wow, I'm so chopped and unk, like, fuck my, like, I'm such a fat fucking chud. Like, that's what I was thinking when we were playing. But then I was like, it could be so much worse. There could be a man here. There could be a man, and he could have impregnated me multiple times by now.
Literally.
But there's not. It's just me and Hatsune Miku and other Hatsune Miku. And that is a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. Indeed. That was long, guys, but we obviously had a lot. So tell us what your ins and outs are, or if you agree, and if you disagree, actually, we don't want to hear that, because that we don't care about.
I know people
but
disagree with mine, so.
Totally. And that's valid to you, but we don't want to hear it. But if you agree, we want to hear it. And if you have any others to add, we will listen. We will take those into consideration.
Yeah, unless you're
That's
a man,
valid,
and
though.
if you're a man, then don't comment.
Oh, true. Like, obviously, men are out in general, so, like, why would we care about what you're in and out?
We posted a fucking clip last night, and I forget what the man commented, but he was like fucking waste of time to watch.
Painful watch, I think.
Yeah, and it's like, babe, you are the one watching it, and then you're the one who decided to open the comments and write something.
Like, literally, like, boy, you can scroll. No one is forcing you to be here except our looks. Obviously, they were just so encapsulated.
We were dressed as Byler. Yeah.
That they, like, had to stay. Yeah.
And I guess also another thing that's out is, like, just for some, like, using any excuse to be homophobic, because, like,
Literally.
we had a Byler reel get really, really big.
Million views, bro. First million view video.
Yes. And it only did so well because of all the people would literally just comment and be like, man, I just wish gay people would die.
Literally.
And it's like, what does that have to do with Byler?
First time getting called the F slur check.
Yeah,
First
and the R slur.
Yeah, lots of R slurs. Yeah, definitely lots of slurs. But my personal first time ever being called the F slur online. So, like, wow, like that's so interesting. And wow, over Byler, like, mind you, over Byler, and me saying, like, look at the parallels, like, and being excited over a woman being excited about two boys that I just want to find love. Like,
and there were just so many insane logic leaps. Like, someone commented, be like, you guys are fucking perverted freaks because you want them to take their dicks out. And it's like, who said that? Who is asking for that? Not us.
Yeah. So, yeah, crazy time. Like we said, a lot has happened, and that being one of them. And
yeah. First hate crime happened in 2025, first year of the pod. Who knew?
True. Honestly, it was bound, but it's kind of like, in a little way, kind of surprised it didn't happen sooner, even though we did get, like, some homophobic comments on our twerking video, whatever. But this was, like, obviously way more. But, like, yeah, first year of the pod, and we had first year of the pod, and we had our first an actual viral video. But then, yeah, we did also get lots of hate with it, like, actual homophobia. Like, that's the world we live in. But, you know,
yeah,
we march forward.
Yeah,
like, they ain't gonna stop us from being gay. That's for damn sure.
And we still have Byler Byler TikToks to be posted. So
there will be more. Like literally, you can't stop us. There's just gonna be more. So. Oh, yeah, guys. Long episode, but, like, welcome to 2026.
Right. Okay, let's do advice, and I'm going to go first because mine is lengthy.
Okay.
My two friends have been I can't read. My two friends have been in a relationship for 4 years. One day, she came home from work, so one of the two friends, right? The two friends are in a relationship. Mm-hmm. One day, she came home from work early, and he was posted up in the apartment. They share. Sorry, I was trying to read this and there's just a lack of punctuation, so I got really confused. Sure. Let me start again. One day she came home from work early and he was posted up in the apartment that they share, watching a movie, pizza and wine with his woman coworker. At first I was shocked. Then she told me that neither of them seemed anxious or jumpy when she walked in. They both said hi and acted like things were normal. If this were his male coworker, no one would think anything's wrong. But I believe in my heart of hearts that men cannot be friends with a woman without thinking sexually of her at least a little bit. Am I crazy? Should she leave him? LOL.
I also believe that I think here's a distinction. I think women can be friends with men without thinking of them sexually. I truly don't believe that men can be friends with women without having
some
thinking
sort
of them
of secret
sexually.
motive.
Yeah, maybe
even
not
if they're never going to act on it.
I think most of them do have a secret motive, but I do think even there are some that you genuinely like you can maybe be friends with them and have a deeper bond for the men, but like there's never a time that I believe in their life that they haven't thought of you sexually.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. And if they say no, I think they're lying.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
And so yeah, that's the fact of having no reaction when she came in. I don't think that's more of a lack of like they think they were doing nothing wrong. Maybe they technically do, but I think that's maybe like genuinely just like kind of a lack of respect, like like lack of respect in that you just like you don't think your partner's gonna do anything about it because if they say something about it, you're gonna say they're crazy. Like you don't have any fear because you don't feel like there's something that they need to that you're crossing any boundaries, which maybe in your relationship you're not. Depends, I guess, if that's a boundary you've outlined. But like personally, if that's something we've never discussed and you come home with your female coworker, and you're having wine with them and you're just hanging out in the apartment that we share on our couch and you didn't tell me about it, because I mean like that's the vibes that I get, like that's disrespectful. If we've never had a conversation that's something that would be okay, like that's disrespectful. And if you don't have a reaction to that to me, that just means you think that if I were to have any reaction that I would be crazy and that I'm not allowed to have a reaction toward that. And so that like, why freak out? Because if you have a reaction, then you're a crazy bitch.
Yeah.
Me personally.
I guess my hot take is I don't think that is that crazy, but I do think that the same as if it was a male coworker, it's crazy that he didn't say anything preemptively. Like even just shooting a text being like, I'm gonna have one of my coworker friends over for dinner, just so you know, so you're not walking into something where you don't know how to react or whatever.
Totally.
Just like a random person in your apartment. I also, because I guess I do kind of agree with what you said though, like I think that women can be friends with men and it not have some sort of secret, like I secretly have feelings for you, or even if I don't have secret harbored feelings or this like thing on the down low, I truly think that men just, if the opportunity ever arose for them, they're gonna take that sexual romantic opportunity every single time.
Yeah.
Even if they're not constantly thinking about it or harboring some secret feelings. That's where my distrust for men comes from. Like there's just, even if it isn't a big thing, it's always a thing in their head. And I think that if I was dating a man and I came home to that, like I don't think the premise of what's going on is that crazy. It's really, I think, a question of like, do you think your partner is the kind who would act on something in that scenario, and how comfortable are you, how accepting are you of what do you think men think of their female friends?
True.
You know what I mean? I think it depends on who that man is. But I do think the most like crazy part about because I think the situation comes off as really crazy because the girl coming home just had no idea that was occurring. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And then it just makes it seem a lot it is disrespectful that there's just someone, but it makes the whole like what you're doing feels wrong kind of perpetuate because you didn't know.
Didn't tell.
You didn't send a casual text being like, hey, just so you know.
Yeah. I would never want to be surprised, period, by anyone being in my home. If I come home and there's someone in my home and maybe she knows this person, but like just genuinely anyone in my home without me knowing, like that's disrespectful. So I think, like the question is, should she break up with him? On that sole scenario on itself, do I think that's breakup material? No. The context that is important is the boundaries that you've set in that relationship. And is that like a violation of the boundaries that you have set? Can you just have your partner randomly bring people home? Like if it was a man, would you like that would be okay and it's just because it's a woman? Or is it just like genuinely they need to be communicating to you when they're bringing someone home, and if they don't see a problem with that, then that's more of the issue? Or again, like the dynamic that you two have and that your partner has, is it fishy to you? Do you know you know them the best? Or think about the way that they courted you. Were you guys just friends first? Were you guys just hanging out? Has he ever hung out with a woman before? Like, is this the first time he's hanging out with a woman that's not been platonic? Like, the context is important. But in the situation itself, do I think that's breakup material? No. It just depends on the history. Yeah. Crazy, though. If that were me, I don't think I would be okay with it, and you can call me a crazy bitch. I don't give a fuck.
I would never date a man again,
Well, yeah.
so I just don't.
That's like the hard part.
I
It's for
think
me to imagine, like, I'd be like, I don't want him to do anything.
Because I obviously would freak out. Like, in that scenario,
Yes.
I would freak out and I would scream at him. But also, I think that every single scenario I've ever been in where I'm having a fight with my partner who's a man, it's fueled by the fact that he is a man at the end of the day.
Yes.
So I don't know because I'm thinking about if this is a woman in that scenario, and that's why I'm like, I don't think the premise of what's going on is that crazy, but
No,
if I were to
agreed.
come
It
home
is
to
the
that
fact
and
that
my
he's a
partner
man.
is a man, I would freak out, not necessarily because of anything that's actually going on, because it's a man and how dare you do some shit like that.
Yeah. Well, because also then, not that women don't cheat, obviously, but it's just like, I don't know. Men already are built in and taught that they don't have to respect women and give, like, it's innate, and it's not innate, actually. That's a bad way to describe it, because I believe that they can unlearn it, but it's taught to them that they should be allowed to disrespect women and cheat on them, like, basically. Like, to be honest, you're taught that you can do anything to women, basically. And so for me, because it's a man, it does matter that it is a man, because he is taught that he could do whatever he wants. Yeah, that's tough. I'm curious. Well, did she break up with him? Like, I don't know. Are they still together? I want to know. Okay. Mine was, someone asked what they should get us for our birthdays.
Yeah, our birthdays are coming up,
We're
and
getting
they're
into birthday season.
close together.
Honestly, I don't think I have anything super specific, because I feel like most of the things I want, I just buy. What I will accept, you can give me money for a fund to buy a PC. I've been really thinking about it, and I want a PC, but it's a lot of money that I just don't have. So I will accept any donation towards me getting a PC. As for physical things, I don't know. Genuinely, I would rather you not try to come up with something for me to have and, like, just buy something random that you hope I like. I'd rather you get me something that you think of me and you think you're like, this reminds me of you and I think you would like it. That's what I'd rather have than you try and rack your brain for something for me to have. So that's like, if you have something in mind, then get it for me. If not, go donate to my GoFundMe. Like, that's what it's like. To me, and it doesn't matter the cost of the gift. The gifts just mean so much more if it's you and you thought of me and you thought of effort. It's not hard for you. Hopefully it's not hard for you. I mean, obviously maybe it takes some thought and time, but, like, you just genuinely were like, this would be perfect. I don't want you to have to worry about. I would not care if you didn't give me a gift, period. I don't care. I care if you give me a gift that you put thought and effort into. And if you just want to give me money for my PC, I will also appreciate that, because I want that. That's it.
Hell of a boss. That's my answer. I don't have anything for it because
it's a new hyperfixation for you.
Yeah, new hyperfixation, and the artist has like a with her website, because she draws all these characters and everything. She makes kind of like seasonal merch and stuff. Cool. But it's not like a ton, so like the official license, like with anime stuff, it's kind of easy in a way, because there's like animes that have been around for forever or that popular. Like Attack on Titan, you could find like 5 billion things, and same with Jujutsu Kaisen and things like that. But yeah, I want stuff for Hello Boss. I currently have just a Blitz stuffed animal. He sits on my couch because I'm obsessed with him. And yeah, I want to buy prints on Etsy, I think, for it. But that's what I want. So, yeah.
Real.
Simple girl.
Okay, guys. This was our 2026 episode. Fun year of the pod ahead. I don't know what's gonna happen for us.
Yeah, we'll have some birthday episodes, I guess, coming up soon with maybe some lore. We can do that.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
We'll see. I mean, no one could have predicted the Byler takeover at the end of the year. So, like, who knows? That was kind of fun. I think we should get into similar things more often.
Yes, except that was a lot on my heart. So, like, maybe, like, not so heavy on the heart. I don't know. But yes. More dressing up for the pod. It's just always fun.
That's true.
It's always fun. And when it's true to us and our soul, that's also fun. So, yeah. Okay, guys. Well, happy 2026.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Follow us on the pod on Instagram and TikTok. We are We Know Better Pod, but on TikTok we have 2 Ds. You can follow me personally, More Cooper 2020 on Insta and TikTok, and Elizabeth is elizabethrosepenabrown on Instagram, and Edgy Liz on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And
submit more advice for the pod. We're starting to run not really low, but we're gonna start getting low.
Yeah, eventually we'll be low.
Episodes,
maybe you have some 2026, like new year, new you. Maybe you have some 2026 related questions.
Yeah.
So
advice is always linked. Never closed. Never enough.
Yes, totally. Okay.
All right.
Love you guys. Bye.